Dragon Age Veilguard has BioWare fans on the edge of their seats, sweating like a kunari in a Ferelden sauna. Will this be the glorious return of the Dragon Age we all know and love, or another Anthem-sized misfire? We're diving deep into the Veilguard details, and we've got a surprise guest joining us. Fresh from a relaxing beach vacation and back to spreading managed democracy, our guest has some explosive opinions to share. So, grab your lyrium potion and settle in, because this is one Dragon Age discussion that's about to get lit. Hi explorers, welcome back to Beyond the Portal. This week we're taking a break from our expeditions to delve into the controversy surrounding Dragon Age Veilguard, formerly known as Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Speak of the devil. Probably a member of the anti-Rainbow Legion of Bros, calling to complain that the elves aren't manly enough, or that BioWare needs to add more traditional family values to their storylines. How in the name of Super Earth did they find out about this podcast? New phone, who this?
Command? Is that you, Command?
Bob? You beautiful brain-blasted idiot. I thought you were still recovering on that beach resort after the Attack of the Clones friendly fire incident.
Yeah, well, the drinks were weak and the sand got everywhere. Besides, Hellmire needs me. Just finished the bug hunt and got some downtime before the next drop. So, what you up to, Command? Still playing tour guide for those lost souls on other planets?
Nah, taking a break from that. I'm on a stream right now talking about Dragon Age Veilguard and all the drama surrounding it.
Ooh, that new Dragon Age game. Heard some rumblings about that back on the ship. Anything juicy to report?
You have no idea. Hey, tell you what, why don't you hop on the stream and give us your 2 cents? You're practically a professional critic now after all those constructive comments you made during our last mission together.
Haha, you got it, Command. Let me just grab a stimulant and I'll be right there.
Well, folks, looks like we've got a special guest joining today. If you're new here and wondering how Bob and I used to spread managed democracy together, after this video you gotta check out the expedition linked in the description. It's a real blast from the past, starring yours truly, Methodical Gamer, and Bob the Destroyer of Worlds back in our Helldiver days. So, grab some popcorn and strap in for a wild ride. Fair warning though, Bob's coming to us live from orbit around Hellmire, so his signal might be a bit choppy. Think military-grade radio transmission, not crystal clear podcast quality. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? Now back to the matter at hand, Dragon Age Veilguard. If you've been scrolling through the comment section of the game's recent trailers, Reddit or Twitter, you've probably seen an army of, let's call them concerned citizens, losing their minds over the upcoming Dragon Age Veilguard. But hold on a second, folks. Before we get sucked into the vortex of, oh my god, there's a gay romance option, or why are there so many women, or even the classic, they made the elves black, let's remember something important. This is Dragon Age, not some alt-right fever dream. We've been romancing elves, dwarves, and even werewolves for years. We've fought alongside badass women like Morrigan and Cassandra. We've explored diverse cultures and races across Thedas. So why are some people acting like inclusion is a new concept in this franchise? Let's level up our discourse, shall we? RPGs are about choice, about being whoever you want to be. If you don't want to romance a certain character, or play as a certain race, or be called a certain pronoun, that's your prerogative. But don't ruin the fun for the rest of us who enjoy the rich tapestry of characters and stories this series has to offer. What do you think of this, Bob?
Sounds to me like someone's got sand in their shorts. Maybe they should try fighting some bugs the size of tanks instead of crying over pixels on a screen.
Tell me about it. It's like they've never played an RPG before.
It sounds like they need a dose of managed democracy and a good old-fashioned bug hunt to put things in perspective. Maybe then they'll realize there are bigger problems in the universe than who's smooching who in a video game.
With that out of the way, let's discuss some of the real and justified fears that old-time fans of the franchise have regarding Veilguard. First on the docket, to be or not to be an MMO-like. Inquisition was a beautiful, sprawling mess, but let's be real, those MMO-style fetch quests were more tedious than a conversation with Cassandra about chantry regulations. We need engaging side quests, not glorified grocery lists.
More cold weather coming. Full villages. Where are their coats?
What do you need to keep these refugees warm?
Blankets, warm clothes, all of it. These poor sods lost everything when the mages and the Templars went crazy. If we were in a village, I could just pinch a blanket off a clothesline and be fine. Out here, I'm sure the apostates have plenty of supplies, just haven't been able to find them.
Farewell. These people need food.
There are rams out in the hills. Good eating, cooks easy, and no lords around to kill you for poaching. Too dangerous to go hunting now. More likely to find mages than mutton.
Good luck.
Luck won't go fat on your ribs.
Speaking of sprawling messes, let's not forget the vast, empty open world. I love a good landscape as much as the next Ferelden, but give us something meaningful to do out there, yeah? Dungeons, secrets, anything besides endlessly collecting herbs. What about you, Bob? Did you play Dragon Age Inquisition? How did you like those fetch quests and the whole open world thing?
It felt like busy work. Not enough explosions and way too much running around picking up flowers. Give me a good old hack and slash any day with clear objectives and plenty of baddies to bash.
Maybe Diablo would be more your speed, Bob. Less flower picking, more demon slaying.
Ooh yeah! Lilith better get ready for a taste of democracy courtesy of Super Earth.
Anyway, back to Veilguard. Fortunately, it seems the folks at BioWare have actually heard our cries. They're promising a mission-based structure instead of a sprawling open world, focusing on handcrafted experiences rather than endless filler content. And honestly, thank the maker. I think we've had enough Ubisoft-style open worlds full of pointless icons and repetitive gameplay mechanics to last us a lifetime.
If I have to climb another watchtower, I'm gonna lose it, command.
Of course, we've all been down this road before with developers' promises, so I'll believe it when I see it. But hey, at least they're acknowledging what the majority of players want. Fingers crossed, explorers.
The veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks. And when the veil comes down completely...
Alright folks, let's get into the nitty-gritty of combat. Based on early previews, it seems like Veilguard is taking a page out of the Mass Effect playbook with a focus on action-oriented gameplay and fewer party members. Some are even calling it Dragon Age meets Mass Effect, which, depending on your perspective, could be exciting or slightly terrifying. Gone are the days of controlling a full party of 4, as the maximum group size has been reduced to 3. We will also have a smaller crew of companions to choose from, down from 9 in Inquisition to 7 in Veilguard. Whether this Mass Effect-inspired approach will truly capture the essence of Dragon Age remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, combat in Veilguard is shaping up to be faster, more dynamic, and potentially more accessible to newcomers. But will it be enough to satisfy the hardcore RPG fans who crave tactical depth? Well, the game's director has addressed these concerns, assuring fans that Veilguard is still a full-fledged RPG with a complex skill tree inspired by Final Fantasy's Sphere Grid. She emphasized that players will have ample opportunity to experiment with different builds and strategies. So, there's still hope for those of us who yearn for that classic Dragon Age experience. Interviewed by Game Informer, the game's director talked about how the combat has evolved with each game in the series, and Veilguard makes no exception. Every single entry reimagines what combat is like, and I would say our goal was to make sure we had a system that allowed players to feel like they actually were able to step into the world of Thedas. Well, it seems that the team is striving for a more immersive experience, placing the player directly into the heart of action. Whether this shift in focus will truly enhance the Dragon Age experience or alienate longtime fans remains to be seen. Hey Bob, as a Helldiver, how do you like your combat in games? More action-packed or more strategic?
Action, command. Always action. Less thinking, more shooting. Or in this case, stabbing, slashing and spell slinging. The more mayhem, the better.
Sounds about right. Good thing Dragon Age doesn't have friendly fire though. We wouldn't want you accidentally blowing up your teammates with a poorly aimed fireball now, would we? Speaking of combat, can we please talk about how awful the camera was in Inquisition? It was like trying to navigate a drunken dwarf through a crowded tavern. I swear I spent more time fighting the camera than I did fighting demons.
Hey, BioWare, I have a solution for that. It's called a don't lose your character in the bushes stratagem.
Or maybe we need a camera awareness stratagem or a stop being drunk potion for the game's camera operator. Seriously, BioWare, if there's one thing you absolutely must get right in Veilguard, it's the camera. Please, for the love of Andraste, give us a camera that doesn't make us want to throw our controllers or portals across the room.
Not looking good, old friend. This'll take more than you and me.
What are you thinking?
Now I know what some of you are thinking, but Myth, Bob, the game looks so lighthearted. Where's the blood and guts that Dragon Age is known for? Well, fear not, my gore-loving friends. Despite the more cheerful tone, the developers have assured us that blood will indeed be spilled in Veilguard. We've even seen a so-called marketing unapproved screenshot showcasing some pretty gnarly blood splatter. So let's hope that everyone's inner blood mage will still be satisfied.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Finally, some good, clean fun. Just like back on Bugs Begun Day.
Join the Helldivers. Travel the galaxy.
Circling back to the tone of the game, yes, the initial reveal trailer had a slightly more jovial vibe than we're used to. Honestly, it was a bit underwhelming and left many of us scratching our heads. But then came the gameplay footage and boy did that change things. It was a much better showcase of what we can expect, with a darker and more intense tone while still retaining some of that signature Dragon Age humor we all know and love.
And the whole world is going to look a lot like this!
Now explorers, here's the biggest dragon in the room. After the disasters that were Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem, can we even trust BioWare anymore? I mean, we've all seen what happens when EA's grubby little fingers get involved. The old BioWare, the one that gave us Knights of the Old Republic, the original Mass Effect trilogy and Dragon Age Origins feels like a distant memory.
Hey, even we Helldivers had a few snafus back in the day.
True, but this feels different. It's like watching your favorite band sell out and start making bubblegum pop instead of their classic metal anthems.
Ouch, that's harsh, Command, but I get it.
And let's be real, Veilguard has been in development for what feels like an eternity. Rumors of scope changes from a heist game to a live service have only fueled the flames of skepticism. Even though they've now confirmed it will be a single-player experience without microtransactions, thank the maker, it makes you wonder what exactly have they been doing for all these years.
I suspect you have questions.
So, there you have it, folks, the real concerns we should be discussing. Let's leave the outrage culture to the Twitter trolls and focus on what matters. Story, gameplay, and the Dragon Age experience that doesn't make us want to jump off the Thunder Mount. Drop your thoughts below and let's keep the conversation going. Remember, it's okay to be excited and cautious. That's the mark of a true Dragon Age fan. And, fun fact, did you know that likes and subscribes are the Thedas equivalent of finding a rare dragon tooth? They're precious, sought after, and help us slay those algorithms. So, if you want to see more dragon slaying, romance disasters, and Bob's unique approach to diplomacy, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. Until next time, may your blades stay sharp and your shields strong.
And keep your stratagems handy for democracy and Super Earth.
And don't forget to keep exploring.